We have some callers that we're going to get to. So, do you know what happens here, Chris? We call strangers and we give them relationship advice.
Just now, people that have asked to be called?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They've submitted questions.
You don't just prank call people.
Great. They don't get a vacation afterwards. So it's not like,
Hello? Is Roger there? No one here by that name? Oh, great. Can you tell me how long you think is too soon to give a blowjob when you're in a relationship? I don't know.
That would be amazing, though, if we can do that.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. We're calling Rebecca. She is 23, and she's in Maryland.
Ooh. What if a girl zombie started to give a blowjob to... fell off.
Uh-oh. You want to ask Rebecca that?
Hi, this is Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca. It's Sim. What's up? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Anna is here.
Hi, Rebecca.
Chris Hardwick is also here.
Hello, Rebecca. All right.
Hello.
So, Rebecca, you're a nanny to a 9-year-old girl. Tell us why you're feeling conflicted right now.
Well, very sweet kid, very sweet mom, but unfortunately, the mom has coddled her daughter so much that she can't do anything for herself, like can't dress herself, needs help in the bathroom and everything, and she's almost 10 years old. So I feel very awkward about it, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to her kid by allowing her to still be coddled.
So
you need to drive that little girl out to a forest, just drop her off.
With like a knife.
Yeah. Don't strand her with
maybe
nothing.
Like in a water pouch.
A knife and some crackers and, and then just say, hey, I'll see you at home.
No, but so I'm sure that you and Sim have explored this much more. So tell us more.
Well, it's like her grades are okay. They're fine. They're not quite what her mom wants, but it's to the point now where her mom is blaming me that her grades are dropping, but her grades are dropping because she doesn't take responsibility. She doesn't bring her homework home. Sometimes she doesn't even finish her tests when she turns them in, things that are totally out of my control. I'll study with her. She knows the material, but she just doesn't do the work. She's used to everyone doing things for her. And I've had conversations with the mom several times trying to get her to see that continually coddling her is the reason why she's doing poorly in school. And she's just not really getting it. And it's making my job very difficult.
Do you get along well with her mom?
Yeah, actually, it's always been fine. It wasn't until recently that when her daughter's grades started to drop that she decided to start blaming me instead of saying that it was, it's her daughter's responsibility to do these things. And she's almost 10, and it's the only responsibility she has. She doesn't have chores or anything that normal kids do. She's just been very, very babied.
So you're the source of your frustration is the fact that your job is to nanny this girl, but as a human being, you feel like you're not doing any good for her because
or she doesn't. I mean, her place is not to be this girl's mother.
It's always that difficult.
So you can't really discipline her, right? You can't say, well, if you do this, then you're not in a position where you can create that structure. I guess you can't.
I know this is a dumb question, but the little girl or the mom, is the little girl doing all the protests? You can't tell me what to do, Rebecca. Or is it the mom that's saying, listen, this is my job to discipline?
Well, the problem is that she doesn't really discipline her daughter. And the kid's really sweet. I can't really fault her because this is all she knows. And she is nice, but it's like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you help me? Can you do this? And her mom doesn't want me to ever... She just wants me to give her positive reinforcement instead of punishing her. She literally wants me to bribe her into just getting her homework done. I'm like, that's just expected. You shouldn't have to be like, hey, if you do this thing you're supposed to do, we'll go to the park or something. And I feel like, I know she's got problems. She doesn't socialize well with other children. And like you're saying, as a person, I feel so conflicted because I feel sick to my stomach about it when I'm trying to help.
So you say she doesn't socialize well with other children?
She does not.
Is she...
She's not allowed to have sleepovers, and every time they try to have a play date, it falls through. So it's kind of an odd situation.
I mean, it sounds like if we dig deeper, the onion layers might get stranger and stranger. It feels like there's more there than you are either seeing or saying.
So wait, But as a mom, I feel an incredible amount of guilt for how much I work. But so it is the little girl's mom working really long hours? Like, is this sort of a reaction? Is the daughter sort of feeling a reaction of like, I'm not getting any time with mommy, so this is how I'm being needy, and then maybe in turn her mom is sort of feeding into that?
You forgot to mention that the girl's mother is hindering her growth. I mean, you told me that she can't even dress herself. She needs help going to the bathroom, and she's almost 10 years old.
Yeah, I talked to her about that, and I said, like kids her age really shouldn't need that help. And she was like, oh, it's not a big deal. You might have to like dry her back off after she gets out of the shower, help her with her training bra. I'm like, no, that's a really big deal. Like, it feels like she's not letting her.
Does the child have any developmental disabilities, or is she?
No, none whatsoever. That's the thing. And at first that was kind of what I was wondering, but the longer, I've only been nannying for them since like August. But the longer I've been with them, I'm like, no, she's totally fine. She's a really bright kid. She's just got a mom that does everything for her because she doesn't want to fight. Like if the girl, just argues with her, she doesn't want to fight with her and just gives in and lets her, do whatever. She'll do this for her. And she literally it doesn't seem like she really wants to parent her child. And she wants me to be bad cop.
I want to know what do you want though? What do you want?
I don't know how to get through to her, I guess, as a mother, because I don't want to disrespect her. It's her kid. I totally get it. But I want to help her see that, this is only going to make life harder for her. And she might be a really difficult teen if you keep doing everything for her and then get tired of it. And, teens are hormonal. I was a horrible teen, so I could say that. I'm like, you don't want to make this worse.
Well, I don't know. You can't save people who don't want to be saved.
Yeah.
So, but wait, and the father is not involved too much, or
he is? So they were divorced. It's a very bad divorce. But he has her every other weekend. So I just have her mostly Monday through Thursdays, and every other weekend, like Friday to Sunday, he has her. And she definitely speaks way too much about him in front of her. So she's kind of built up this fear in her daughter of this guy. And I'm sure, it sounds like he was a terrible husband, but
right, but
everything
that's
I've
not
heard,
fair.
he sounds like an okay dad. Yeah, so it's an awkward situation. As a mom, I just don't know how to deal with it without I don't want to disrespect her. And I certainly, don't want to get fired.
Does she have her own kids? Does Rebecca have her own kids?
Yeah, Rebecca, did you?
Sorry?
I don't think so.
Oh.
She just meant like talking.
But wait, and have you been a nanny before?
I've done a lot of childcare. This is my first full-time nanny position.
I think that I think that and it's going to be hard, but I think that there's a really delicate way to I would schedule a sit down. I would say, listen, I would love to, let's say the mom's name is Sarah. Sarah, I would love to have a sit down in the next couple weeks when you have about an hour. I want to make sure that we're on the same page in terms of rearing, I don't know, what's her name? Lindsay, let's say. And I would tell her, because you sound like incredibly gentle and considerate. And I would tell her, listen, the things that, the red flags that I'm seeing at this age for her is that she's a little bit too old to be, and I want to make sure that I encourage her a sense of independence with her, a sense of strength with her. The things that I feel like I need help with are how to, what kind of disciplinary freedom you could potentially give me if, say, she doesn't want to get dressed by herself, or what kind of encouragement I can give her, or not going to the bathroom. Like, I think this is definitely awkward, but as long as you present it in something that I can't imagine you might look forward to, but something that you really need to address with her mother, and I think spell all of this out. I know as a mom, I would so appreciate, a nanny telling me in a gentle way, because no one wants to feel like their kid is, of course, we're incredibly protective in an insane
absolutely.
way.
And I'm so sensitive to that because it is for
I know.
kids. So,
Well,
I want to make
clearly.
sure it's like gentle.
But I also think that the factor that really is affecting a lot of this is is the divorce. Like being a parent of a divorce, she probably feels very bad that, you know, she doesn't want to make this child's life any more difficult. So she's probably very like, hey, whatever you want, I just want you to be happy. I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I am a child of divorce, but I also am not a parent. But it seems to me that, you know, at a certain point, the child would need some structure. But then you have to ask yourself, what type of a nanny are you? Are you really just kind of babysitting the child while the mother is working? Or were you kind of brought in as like a really professional? And then you have this talk with and ultimately if she's like, well, this is how I want to raise my kid, then you just have to decide if you want to be a part of that or not. And it's kind of not, I mean, in some senses, from some point of view, it might not be your place to say, here's how you got to raise your kid. You could bring her to her attention. This is some stuff this is some stuff I see. I think down the road, this could be difficult for her to socialize with other kids if she doesn't really understand how to do these things. But if she ultimately says like, too bad, then you have to make the decision whether or not you want to stay in a situation and contribute to it, or maybe find something that is more in line with how you feel.
Yeah, I think Rebecca, I think I feel like maybe you told Sim and us earlier, like you would really like to help, you know, whatever. Let's say her name is Lindsay, the little girl, become more self-sufficient. And with that kind of approach to a mom, I think that that's really gentle and encouraging. And I think it's like, it seems to me like the mom is in kind of a lot of denial, anger. She's probably very confused and feeling very guilty and really wrapped up in her own stuff. So she's kind of, you know, maybe just a little bit checked out. So it's like, okay, whatever, like whatever is, as long as like, you know, like everything is sort of okay on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And because she's busy, she's working, whatever. But I think that you can say to her, it's, you know, the well-being of your child is incredibly important to me and I know that it's even more important to you. These are the things that worry me a little bit, that her schoolmates and her friends are more advanced and independent in a lot of ways. What can we like sort of form a bit of a strategy to get your daughter to a place where she's feeling confident and not quite as needy, or, you know, and I think that will ultimately make her a lot happier too. And also like do that lame thing where you have to shower the kid with compliments too, because that's what
compliments that I absolutely don't mean.
Right. Oh, she's so smart. She's
but like seriously, guys, like your kid sucks. I'm sorry.
But honestly, Rebecca, when you first started talking, the first thought that went through my head was like, oh my God, she has to quit this job. And
well, I think you can, you know, all you can do. I mean, first of all, it's not. You know, I know it's a specific situation because you are a nanny. It's not really your place to save anyone. You know, like you maybe have ideas for how people should live, but maybe those are your ideas. You don't know if you're right. You know, like that's what you would do, you know? So that's why I'm saying you could say to the mom, I care about your child. You know, having spent so much time with her now these last few months, this is what I have observed. This is what I think that could lead to. Does it interest you in exploring this further or creating some structure? And if she says no, then it's kind of your problem at that point, because you can't tell someone how, you can't force them. And then you just have to decide if you want to be a part of it or not. And if you do, then you kind of got to follow their rules because you work for them. You know, it's like you can't, it wouldn't really be your, if the understanding.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. If the understanding is that you're going to come in and just kind of look after the child while she's at work or whatever. I mean, I think, of course, the human side of you is like, wow, I'm going to whisper in her ear and tell her to do stuff. I mean, in a way, though, it may not entirely be your place to do that, you know? And
it's true.
And if she grows up without social skills, it's not your responsibility, you know? Like you have to make yourself happy. And if this situation is not right for you, then go nanny a kid whose parents have different rules. All you can do is just offer the information in a polite, constructive way. But if she is not into it at all, then that's her decision. It's her child.
And that's also like maybe not somebody that you really want to work with either. I try to make it clear to the people that help us with Jack, like this, it's really important that he has great manners. It's really important that he's friendly to people. I encourage, I want the people that watch him to be disciplinarians. I mean, obviously not like spanking him or whatever, but I want, it's important for Jack and I to have, and everyone has different views, but it's important that Jack has respect for adults and still, we do like the stranger danger game, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but I've been playing that lately, which actually gets to be a fun acting game for me. I get to be creepy mommy, come into my van. Yep, creepy. But
that explains the van outside with the airbrushed wizard on it.
Chris, do you want to come into my van? I've got candy.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I love candy. That sounds great. Oh no, I was so wrong.
But I think ultimately, Rebecca, I think that I wouldn't. You're young. I wouldn't be afraid of leaving this job if your boss is someone who's sort of unwilling to be actively involved in her child's rearing in any way.
I mean, I'm sure she's doing the best she can. It sounds like the situation was really shitty. We've all been through really, really bad breakups, and to have a child in the middle of that, I would imagine has to be the worst.
Yeah, but this was a long time ago. They got divorced a long time ago, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, they got divorced right after she was born. So I'm sure
she's
it's
9.
hard, but I mean, like,
and she still talks a lot about talks a lot about the father.
Yeah. Oh my God! Like, it's all she talks about.
Yeah,
so it's a lot.
It might just be a toxic situation for you.
Yeah. Well, and like, I really wasn't overly concerned until actually it's really good timing that this call happened, because it was just this past week that she was so concerned about her daughter's grades and was like insinuating that it had something to do with me, even though I've literally been doing homework with her as much as she wanted, and she has the material that I do housekeeping for them too.
Oh my gosh.
She said, you know what, I just want you to focus on her. You don't need to do housekeeping. And then she cut my pay.
Oh.
And I did have a talk with her. I said, like, you can't do that. This was our agreed upon rate. Like, if you don't want me to do housekeeping, I'll have to do something else. But like, that was insane. I was like, she didn't say a word. She just handed me a check with less money in it.
This whole thing of like, I don't know how you guys grew up.
Avoidance. This woman is full of avoidance.
Yes. And the end, I don't know. There's a whole like weird,
the mother.
In LA, there's like the whole weird thing of like either parents or nannies helping kids with their homework. I never grew up like that. My parents never helped me with my homework. They just made me sit down and do it.
Like, she wants me to do every single problem with her. I'm like, man, this is weird. I was like, on my own.
They do everything?
Yes.
They sit and do everything with them?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like
How do they do things on their own then?
That's right. That's the problem.
I think that's why they still need help in the bathroom.
I think the idea that, that she isn't, the child has no rules, and the fact that you said she handed you a check with less money and didn't address it, like, she's clearly, those are like, that's a pattern of avoidance that she just doesn't want to deal with stuff. And so, and that's also smart. With all due respect, you're still, you're 23, so you still have a lot of life and options that you don't, if this situation is not happy for you, and you can't really wrap your soul around it, then maybe you should do something else. Because if it's that frustrating to watch, and then also I would say, this mom, it's just she has a much different experience in life than you have, and you have a different point of view because, I assume like you said, you don't have kids and you haven't been through that, so you don't really know exactly what she's going through emotionally. So, I know it sounds like maybe you're judging her a little bit in some ways, but she might, she might have real problems that she's avoiding. So you kind of just have to ask yourself if you want to be a part of that. And if you don't, that's totally fine.
Yeah. And nannying isn't like my profession. I mean, I went to school for musical theater. This is just like what I'm doing at the moment.
This is a big
before,
sign.
I go do things. So
this is a big sign.
Want to, do a good job while I'm doing this. But yeah, this has been a lot more challenging than I thought.
Here's the thing. If you really care that much, then what you should do, because if you went to school for musical theater, you're not a professional educator. And if it really means that much to you and you make some headway with the mom on creating some rules, then you should do some research and work with educators to make sure, because you're just kind of going off your gut right now. And that may or may not be fair. That may or may not be fair because you think you think your way is the right way, but you still kind of don't know if it is or not.
Well, yeah, that's you're fucking great. But also, but Rebecca, I do think maybe here is like the practical solution that I would give you, and maybe Chris will approve or Sim.
Yeah, let's make this the final advice.
Okay, so my final advice would be this: I would say, I would give yourself sort of a mental date of maybe like January 1st and give plenty of notice and let the mom know, like, listen, I love your child. I've loved working with you. I would love it if I could potentially ask you for a reference, and kind of sit with the time. And then like you're at that age, that crucial moment right now where you kind of have to roll the dice a little bit and potentially, if that means like sort of working as a waitress or, whatever else it is, because being a nanny is very isolating as well. And so I want you to pursue musical theater and like take a shot at doing some of your dreams.
Respectfully, I think I would say that you don't have the experience to really say what's best for this child or how to make her, because that's not what you've pursued. And you're sort of looking at the situation and going, oh, well, if I were a mom, here's what I would do. And so it may not be fair, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I completely agree. If you're almost 10, you should be doing these things yourself. But, you don't really have the know-how to approach the mom and go, here's what we're going to do, unless you really do the research. You can just say, this is what I've observed. This is why I think it's concerning and I think you should keep an eye on it. Sounds like the mom's probably not she's probably gonna do whatever she wants. She might say, oh sure, and then just not really follow through with it.
Right.
And then I think Anna's right. You really should start thinking about how you can pursue something that's not so emotionally enveloping that it's taking away your creative energy.
And also and being able to leave a position with a lot of goodwill. That's always really important to because this person potentially could be, a good resource later on in life or whatever, or like a good reference. And but
I hate leaving jobs awkwardly too. That just sits so poorly with me. So I certainly wouldn't want to rub someone the wrong way.
But I would think about potentially leaving sooner rather than later. And I don't know if you're in a position where you could wait a few weeks before, like financially, before you get another job, but because you went to school for something else, your passions are elsewhere. It may not even be worth having a super in-depth conversation with the mom who may be dealing with a lot of her own unhappiness issues right now as well.
Yeah, this will take a lot of your creative energy, which all the energy that you spend worrying about how to make the situation better the way that you feel like it should be made. You could be writing or acting or doing a play, and then finding
just at least working with adults. That's a huge thing. When you're a nanny, you are with the child all the time, so you don't have a ton of exposure to other people that are very creatively stimulating to you, and that's really important to somebody who wants to pursue other things.
I mean, I would say it's probably more worth your time if you worked a job that you didn't care about as much, to keep you afloat so that you can focus your creative energies on the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
That's
That's a great point. I was just actually, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
That's a great point though, because actually I just started up in a play and I was like noticing, I'm like, man, when I get to rehearsal, I'm like so drained, but I just, not even physically, I'm just mentally tired. I'm like, man, I just want to go to bed. Like, I don't even think I can do this tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good point you guys make.
Yes. So
No.
don't get caught up in someone else's drama if that's not where you're going to head to in life. And good luck with your play too.
Yeah, and
thank you so much.
You're definitely at a time when it's really important to follow your dreams, and you know what? And even if you had like a heart to heart with the mom, there's a good chance she won't really always absorb it. So
why don't you read Chris's shirt?
Oh, Chris Hardwick has a shirt that says "Always follow."
It says "Always follow your dreams," but it's a cartoon of Freddy Krueger.
Oh, wait, I don't understand that.
You what?
I don't understand.
Because you've
never seen
dreams! Oh my god!
You've never seen One Nightmare on Elm Street?
I just made the connection. Always follow. Okay, all right.
And it wasn't his dream to kill people.
Well, he killed people in their
dreams. That's what I didn't.
I guess ironically that could have been his dream too.
But you're right.
Yeah,
it was his dream.
Whose dream was in whose dream? Oh my god.
Hey, thank you
Thanks,
so much
Rebecca.
for the call and listen.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway is quit your job and follow your dreams.
Bye, Rebecca.
Bye. It's really caring that she cared a lot.
You guys,
though.
great advice. Seriously,
Yeah,
that was
Chris.
awesome.
Man, that was fucking good.
I
What?
know.
No, I
We
just
have one more call.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Keep going.
Sim gets a little fussy when I talk too long.
Fussy.
Especially because I know
Fussy is one of my favorite words, by the way.
it's pretty good, right?
I love that word.
Do you have a least favorite word?
Bro.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't like it when guys would say like that's so tits.
I've never heard
I
that.
like-
Guys don't
I
say
like
that.
tits.
Guys don't say that.
Guys say that.
I've never
No.
heard that.
That's so tits. They said it where I grew up.
That's so tits.
Yeah, like that's so tits, man.
That's a
Like that's
I mean,
like
I don't mind it. I'll use it.
yeah.
No, I like tits, but that's so tits feels like I don't. It just feels a little uncreative.
It does. Yeah. 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 Like
Like it should be that's a labia, man.
Yeah, but I think bro is my least favorite word.
Bro.
Chris, bro. It's been so fucking rad to have you on here, dude. It's been tits.
Brotastic. those bros are tits. Those tits are bros. What? That doesn't make sense.
All right, we're going to call Charlene. Charlene's in Las Vegas. She's 29.
Is this your handwriting here?
No. Maybe.
Hello.
Charlene, hey, it's Sim. What's up?
Hey, Charlene, you're calling into the Alpha as well.
Hey, it's wonky in the wax.
Hi there.
That was Chris Hardwick, by the way. You can tell.
Hi, Chris Hardwick.
Hello, Charlene.
Hi, Charlene. It's Anna.
Hi, Anna. Nice to be speaking with you guys.
Oh, thanks so much for calling or for letting us call you and bug you.
Oh, yes. No, thank you so much for calling me. I'm such a huge fan of you and the show, and I've actually been binge listening to you all week, so this is very kismet-y feeling for me.
Oh, good. Are you so tired of my voice? Poor Sim has to listen to me.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no, not at all.
Like sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
I know you have to listen to my voice. Oh, my God.
And on weekends.
But thank you, Charlene.
Charlene,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Charlene, tell us about all of these weird love notes that keep showing up on your desk.
Okay, so I work for an online retailer. It's a pretty big company. There's probably about 1,500 people in the company. Been there for about a year and a half. Probably about, I want to say maybe 6 months into me being at the company, I started to get these little Post-it notes at my desk. And a little backtrack, I work half my time at my desk and half my time in a photo studio. So there's like a lot of empty time at my desk. I'd say I work half a month usually away from my desk. So somebody has been coming into my personal Post-it stash, and they've been like leaving these little notes. And, they're pretty innocuous. Like, I don't know, like the first, I'll read some for you. This one says, I know it's Monday and life sucks, but don't forget that you're one of the most beautiful girls at the company. Heart, your secret admirer. That was, I have a boyfriend now, and that initial note was before my boyfriend and I were together. And I wrote a response note just saying, thank you. Like, that was really nice. Made my day. It would be nice to know who you were. They never ever acknowledged that note, just kept writing other notes along the same lines, just like, in case you didn't know you're beautiful, or, but for reals, if you're ever having a down day, or a shitty day, just remember that you're one of the most beautiful girls in the company, blah, 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 your secret admirer. Just always along those lines. I have no clue who it is. And mind you, the boyfriend that I mentioned, he also works at the company. And like, it's kind of
fairly well known that he and I are together. Like, it's not like a hidden secret. So the notes kind of lulled for a while, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about this like stranger at my desk all the time. And then randomly, just this past week, I got one, and I'll read that to you. It says, "Hi, me again. Sorry it's been a while. I recently found out you had a boyfriend and figured it would be incredibly disrespectful to leave you notes in this fashion still. But then I saw you as I took the stairs, and I couldn't imagine going another day without telling you how beautiful you are. Well, until next time, love, your secret admirer." And like my boyfriend and I were just like laughing. They're like, "Oh, so like it's incredibly disrespectful, but like you're just gonna do it anyway?" That's cool.
Well, I have a couple questions. Charlene, do you, cause I think that we should trust our gut a little bit more. Do you have a short list of who the potential people could be?
To be quite honest with you, for a really long time, I thought it was my boyfriend.
That's because that's what I was thinking.
Taking the notes, and I was like cross-referencing them with his handwriting, and I was like, it's you. And he was like, no, I swear to God. And he was like even getting in on it, and he would like write kind of like a retaliatory note like on my desk that was like, "I love you, your boyfriend."
You don't even know. You don't even know that it's a guy.
You can tell from handwriting sometimes.
But
I mean, it does look like a guy's handwriting, but at the same time, you never really can be too sure.
Like, what would a girl? A girl would have a different. There would be a different. I think.
And I would hope
message,
that if it was a girl, like then I could just get a cool friend out of it.
I really would not be surprised if it was your boyfriend and he's now in a little bit deep, and at some point he thinks it's going to be romantic.
That's a stretch.
Trust me. I was like getting frustrated with him.
You know why? Because and
he was like, no.
How long have you guys been together?
Why would someone continue that, Anna?
How long have you guys been together?
Yeah.
Because he would have said...
We've been together about 10 months now. Like,
okay,
we live together now.
And you guys would have had an intimate moment, and then he would have been like, by the way, I wrote the note.
No, guys. You guys... Okay, let's talk about this. Magicians.
Mm-hmm.
Guys... There are guys, especially if they are smitten with a woman, and they like a little trickery. Certain men do.
So you think he's having like a post-it pissing contest on my desk?
10 months is a long time to
That's
not.
A fucked up
dude.
Joke.
This is what I'm saying. Dudes are fucked up. But there was a big gap. You guys, there was a big gap.
Well, because that person, I don't think it's the boyfriend. I think the boyfriend would have, and I say this because all I can do, all I can do is put myself in the situation of the person writing the notes. And I feel like if I was a secret admirer and then I ended up with you, maybe not in the first month, but at some point I would be like, by the way, that was me.
Yeah.
You know, like
exactly.
as a fun.
Exactly.
And that's what I thought too. And like after I went through all my accusations, they still persisted. So I just know that he knew I was like kind of frustrated at not knowing who this was.
Boy, your company probably has an HR policy, and
that was my other thing. I was like, I can't really go to HR and just be like, "Hey,
because it's your boyfriend."
Mystery with me.
No. Well, you could go to HR if you wanted to.
You still believe it's your boyfriend?
Yes. Because I think that.
Oh no! I promise it's not my boyfriend. Like he's literally sitting in the room next to me right now. Like,
sorry.
I can get him on the phone and have him testify.
I like
to
you. All right, then let's go back to the short list, with the exception of the boyfriend, of the very nice man who's sitting next to you. But do you have like who in your gut feeling at work is maybe a little overly friendly, maybe looks you up and down just in the tiniest glance? I mean, women know.
You would never know.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know.
Well,
it wouldn't be the person who looked you up and down and you caught them.
No. But you have no idea. No. You don't.
I have no
Chris,
clue.
you don't understand.
I agree with you, Chris.
Never
Chris,
even
I
had,
completely agree with you.
Feeling, and I trust my intuition for the most part, and I've never gotten an inkling about anybody. Like
I think it's someone who's invisible.
Me too. It's someone that's too nervous to talk to her.
Yes, I feel like.
Yeah, clearly.
But I feel like it's someone that would never if someone to go the secret admirer route. That person can't make eye contact.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But women can pick up on those people too. Like there's the invisible people. I feel like you pick up on as well.
No.
Yep.
Well,
Totally.
I think you're going to have to concede to her. Like, I never noticed that stuff, so I wouldn't.
I
notice.
guess I have to concede. But that's amazing if you can do that.
Oh yeah. Listen, I have a list of the people who, like may, murder me in my sleep because, and they are not the people who are like, hey babe, whoa, you're looking good today.
So my question,
no, they are not those people.
My question is because I can see 2 points of view when you first started getting these notes. One point of view is like, it's harmless. Someone's just leaving a note. The other point of view is, wow, I feel exposed. Someone's kind of watching me. I don't know who they are. That makes me feel super creepy.
Right.
That's what it's verged into, totally.
Well,
like, at first I was like, wow, like, that's such, like, a nice feeling that somebody took the time to, like, compliment me. And now I'm just like, okay, like, murder mystery is what it's feeling like.
Did you ever write back?
I did try one time from the very first note. I left, like, a note in the same place, and I thanked them. I thought it was so nice that I would like to know who they were. And they completely ignored that, like, never even acknowledged it, and just persisted to write notes in the same fashion.
Charlene, I think I think you got to approach management with this.
Yeah, I would.
Because,
you think so?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
It's definitely, because if it's not your boyfriend, I mean, one point of view would be it's crossing a line to do it, period. But I feel like it's definitely, because the undertone of it is that someone is not honoring the clear boundary that you have set up, which is...
And making you feel creeped out at work. Like, who is this? Who's watching? Like, it's on your mind all the time. You can't focus on work because you're preoccupied with, like, who is this person? And the idea of someone being, like, enjoying being sort of this mysterious, secret admirer that may seem like it's a compliment from his perspective.
But it's also a control game.
But right. But it's also like toying with you mentally. That this is definitely something, and you don't sound like a dramatic person. I'm sure that I'm not that whatever that I am a dramatic person, but I'm
emotional but not dramatic.
I think that you should speak to HR and say, listen, this odd thing has been happening, and truthfully, there's probably cameras. And
see, because that was like my number one thing is like I don't know how to approach a complaint like this when like I have no person.
Okay, so right now
I'm like, are we good?
I see my lawyer girlfriend right now furiously scribbling notes right now. She knows exactly how to handle this. She wrote a note saying that this is considered a hostile work environment and that you have a right to feel safe at work. And if notes get creepier, you should definitely go talk to HR.
I would do it now.
I wouldn't wait.
I wouldn't wait because Anna's right. I'm sure in an office like that, there are cameras, and obviously, I think a lot of offices have policies against you can't set up a camera, but they probably have cameras. So if you go to them, you just the truth is you don't know anything about this person. So
exactly.
I mean, you just don't know, and I think it's your right to not be harassed by weird notes and
dealing with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, someone might go, well, it's a note, but the truth is, there is a percentage of probability that it's safe, but there's also a percentage of probability that that person is disturbed.
Totally, Charlene.
So you have every responsibility to report it and just go take all the notes into HR and just say, hey, I've been getting these for a while. I didn't say anything at first because I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but it really makes me feel
I wouldn't say that. I would say, nope. I've been getting these for a while. I've been hesitant in the past because they haven't seemed incredibly threatening, but it's getting to the place now where I would like to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, and then don't feel bad about it.
Amy, you wanted to add something.
I'm so sorry, but
you.
As a lawyer, and this isn't actually really my area of expertise, so take it with a grain of salt, but you do have a right to feel safe in your work environment. There's something called hostile work environment, and the company needs to be protecting you. And if you can't focus, you can't do your job, you feel threatened, that's not okay. So the only other point I would add is that you should be documenting as much as you can. Say the notes.
I
show
kept
HR
the
the notes.
I don't even know why I kept them. But
you should. No.
So
you need to keep.
Good.
You need to keep the notes. You also, after you meet with HR, you talk to them. Send an email, reiterating the conversation. So there's a record in writing of that you brought this to their attention, because down the line, if the company knows that this is an issue and does nothing, that could be
fun. And also I feel like the longer you don't do anything, the more it's signaling to this person that you're okay with it,
right?
Because you're not trying to stop it, and so you're not kind of like in the previous call, you're not really disciplining this person. You're just letting them do it. And you don't, you have a right to not have it done. So you should definitely.
Yeah. And also though, Charlene, because if I were in your shoes and someone was doing that to me, I would, I think at first be like, kind of like, oh my gosh, this makes a day more interesting. Which, and I don't mean to like throw my, I don't mean to like, but the problem is that, because the notes they're complimentary and they're seemingly relatively harmless. That is also, that's also the problem too.
You just don't know. You just don't.
Right.
You don't.
It's not like, oh, I'm going to gut you like a fish. Then it's like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good. But.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's definitely kind of like the turn it took in this last note, because like I said, there had been like a lull for a while where there were no notes for months. And I was like, okay, so he's probably seen me with Eric, my boyfriend, and gets the hint now, and then great. But then there's this note, and just the nature of this last note, like, I saw you on the stairs. It's very much like, I've been watching you.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's super creepy.
It's creepy. Anymore.
Yeah,
that's
stalker. Yeah, Charlene, don't leave any more notes on your desk at all for him. Just, I would say go straight to.
Okay.
I mean, the first chance you get
to HR. Yeah,
literally the first chance you get.
Yeah,
next Monday.
You should probably email your HR person and say, I have an issue that I want to talk to you about on Monday.
Because the thing is that you are, and please, like I think as women, we carry around a lot of guilt and weirdness about sort of bringing this kind of thing to attention.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the other thing too, is like, I don't know who this person is.
But that's the argument for it. That's the argument for reporting it.
Yes.
The argument for reporting it is that you don't know who it is. And you know what? Their job is not your responsibility.
Right.
That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is your job at work, and to feel like you can do your job without having someone stare at you. And this person is testing boundaries.
Yeah.
Because if you don't give them the boundaries, then you'll probably keep getting them. I mean, the fact is, you're in a relationship, and this person probably knows that, and they did it anyway to see how you'd respond. And that's really fucked up. So you really have no responsibility to this person whatsoever. You didn't ask them to give you notes.
Fuck no.
But the longer you don't do something about it, the more you're kind of allowing it to, you have to report it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your company will respect you for this. Don't you think, Amy? Like the company will and they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll probably find out within 30 seconds who it is, because I'm sure there are cameras.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But, and I know, and listen, you are not being dramatic. You are being responsible. And this is,
you have no other way to communicate to this person to stop doing it. You have no other way to stop them from even you writing a note saying, please don't do this, is you giving them attention. And that's, So I think you just need to not even think about it anymore and report it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you'll also know if it's your boyfriend. If you're like, I'm going to report this, and he's like, whoa, hey, wait now, hey, let's take it down a notch. What do we?
That's in our sweet little relationship.
Can you imagine?
Whoa, hey, is that crazy? I'm sure this person just, yeah.
Well, now's the time, Eric. Fess up.
but hey, listen, Charlene, thanks for calling in with such a brave, important question, because it may, I know that there's a lot of guilt in the idea of like, oh, this seems kind of trivial, or is it a big deal? Or we don't, like, as women, it feels very unclear. Like, how do we gauge the idea of when we're uncomfortable at work? And
exactly, because like it's wrapped in this very complimentary bow, so it doesn't feel threatening, but at the same time, like, it's getting there.
Exactly. No. It's not just getting there. It's been there from day one.
Yeah, I mean, even talking to you guys, I'm like kind of realizing, wow, I don't think I even took this as seriously as maybe I needed to, because like saying it out loud, I'm like, this does sound kind of creepy.
Well, imagine if one of your friends came to you and said, hey, I've been getting these weird notes and I'm in a relationship, and then I got a note about how they were staring at me. You'd be like, hey, what do you got to tell someone? Like, that's not cool.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Good luck.
Charlene, let me know after you talk to HR. Let me know how it went down. Send me an email.
And I promise, I really think that any kind of responsible company is going to really hear you and have your back. And I think you're going to feel really relieved.
It's true.
Oh, 100%.
She just said they could be liable if they don't.
No, totally. Okay.
All right.
Well,
all right.
I will do that, and I will let you guys know.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Charlene.
Charlene. Yeah. Please and thank you so much for the. I'm sorry. I hope we didn't freak you out, but I think you'll find a lot.
No.
Yeah, I really do think you'll find.
You guys kind of like snapped me into what needs to be done here. Totally. Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes.
It's a bigger deal than you may want to think it is right now. You know what I mean? It is.
Yeah. And I think sometimes as like girls, we're kind of conditioned to a certain extent to interpret complimentary behavior in a certain way, but it can be used in a manipulative kind of malicious way too.
You're completely right about that. And
guys it never enters a guy's head. Like, what if I get assaulted? Like, guys never have to think that way.
Oh no.
And so you just don't know anything about this. You don't know anything about this person. And I really feel like, I feel like when someone does not recognize a boundary, that is a dramatic underpinning for a larger thing about them, which is, if they don't respect this boundary, what other boundaries do they not respect? Right. It's not like this is probably the only time they don't. And again, it could be a completely innocent thing, but you don't know, and you have to be safe.
It's implicitly not innocent. You know what I mean?
It's not innocent. Yeah. It's not innocent anymore. It's not innocent.
No.
Like one note you might have been going like, oh, but it's still creepy.
It's creepy. Yeah. Creepy from day one. Charlene,
it is creepy. It's totally creepy because you're right. It is creepy from day one because that's basically someone saying, "I'm watching you."
Right.
Exactly.
And you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Every step you take.
That's what that song was about.
Yeah. So Charlene, you're not insane. You're completely rational. And I really have a strong feeling that your company is going to totally have your back.
Okay, well, I know what I'm doing on Monday.
Oh, good. Yeah, let us know, because this is such an important issue. So let us know. I know there's going to be a lot of listeners that are going to be really curious to know how this all turns out.
Yeah, we'll do an update with you after you let me know what happens, and we'll do another call-up update.
Sure thing.
Thanks, Charlene.
Thanks, Charlene.
Sounds good, guys. I'll let you know. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Great. Yeah.
Chris Hardwick, will you describe what Sim just did?
He did the wrap it up hand gesture, or he just is so obsessed with circles that he just likes to put them around in the world. Oh, another circle. Oh no, you guys keep going. I just love these circles.
So are you going to go trick or treating?
I don't know if we'll go trick or treating. Our neighborhood is not really trick or treaty.
Are you going to go to like a party? Like, are you going to have candy?
We will have candy. I don't know if it'll get used. This is our first Halloween in this house that we're in.
Okay.
So I don't know what the foot traffic is like, but I suspect it's probably not amazing.
But you're going to keep candy in your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already have candy in my wife is a candy. I remember when we first started dating, I found like Sour Patch Kids next to her toothbrush. Like I find like she loves candy, so it'll get eaten even if we don't give it to kids. Like we'll be like, better get all this candy, for the kids. We'll do it for the kids. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do for Halloween. I'm not a big party guy.
I know, but you're gonna get all dressed up. So what are you gonna do? Just wander around your house?
Yep, that's right.
Wait, tell us what you're gonna go as.
Well, can we reveal
costume?
it?
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, my Halloween costume this year is, and I know it's gonna be a very popular one this year. I'm going as 11 from Stranger Things. But when they put the wig on her, it was just like, I want to do it where she has the wig on, but the dress is all dirty and there's like blood caked, from all of the powers. I really wanted to be 11 this year.
I can't wait to see pictures.
I'm going to do it at midnight. So I'll
perfect.
Be on
sounds good.
See it on the show.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So at midnight, by the way, speaking of, that's when does that air?
Ironically, it does not air at midnight anymore. We are at 11:30, so we're immediately following The Daily Show on Comedy Central Monday through Thursday. Walking Dead, Talking Dead's back as of the recording of this tomorrow. I got to watch the season premiere tonight. Mm-hmm. And then
and your Nerdist podcast continues to crush.
Nerdist podcast is still happening.
It's been such an honor to have you here.
We had so much fun.
Oh, you guys were so great.
It was a blast.
You were so great. Yeah, it was. You guys were fantastic.
Yes.
Well, and I can't thank you enough for being here as well.
Thanks for having me in your home studio.
I know, it's so you have like a professional thing, and we've just got this lame like.
It took years before I did that, though.
Really?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, in the early days of the podcast, when I used to work for this company called G4, there was a G4. It doesn't exist anymore. But Ryan Seacrest Productions was also in that building because E was in that building. So we basically kept sneaking into this like radio station, this broadcast studio that was his for a long time until finally everyone found out, and then everyone was like, well, it's fine. But so we actually only, but when we very first started, this is more complex than, this was great. We were super, super grassrootsy.
Okay, can I be a fan? I'm going to come up to you. You're like, let's say you're talking to some friends and you're at a thing, all right?
So I've been leaving all these Post-it
Chris.
notes at this.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? I just, I had to come up to you and tell you, man, you're fucking killing it, man. That's so cool.
My God, Anna Faris, it's so great to see you.
No, wait.
Wait, what? Why are you whispering in this? I don't understand.
Do it again, but don't say my name.
You guys admit that's Anna Faris, right? She just came up to me at this.
Whoa, hey, Chris. Sorry, hey, man, sorry to interrupt you.
Hey,
I just gotta
Andy Faris.
Oh God, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know you're talking to a lot of people, but I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan. What's up, man? My name's G4.
Hey, G4, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's so
really
cool
nice to meet you.
So cool.
You got quite a grip there, G4. Just really going for it.
I was a personal trainer for a while, but now
that's cool.
I've got my own production company.
What are you producing?
Fucking like lots of shit. I'm the podcast world seems kind of small, so I'm not actually like exploring that area.
Well, already this is the type of person that has never come up to me before. the bro person never been like, yo, Doctor Who, bitch! Doctor Who, bitches! Like, no one has. I've not ever gotten. It's very rare. It's usually but we'll keep going with this. Okay, so G4.
I'm like, because I've always been like a huge movie buff, so I'm producing some indies and
that's great.
I talks with over like a Paramount and stuff with like this.
Well, that's not really an
indie.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, that's a different project, but I just want to tell you, man, it's so cool, like what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
you mean doing
really
the
cool.
Anna Faris podcast?
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but that, But I don't know. I just think it's so cool to hear like self-made, because that's like what really inspires me.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Hey, you know what?
What?
If you ever want to, I don't know, if you ever like need like some producing advice or anything, or like,
listen, I always need plenty of advice. Yeah.
Yeah, G4. Don't forget.
I won't. You should come by the house sometime.
Yeah, I don't know. What's your address, man?
It's the lake. I'm a mer person.
Yeah.
I was me in the earlier sketch, so I'm still a mer person. That rule does not.
It doesn't change.
Yeah, I'm still a mer person.
Like, I don't know. Okay.
I live and sleep underwater. It's it's fine. I come out to do my work, but then I live and sleep underwater.
Is that like the hydrochronic thing that
It's not hydrochronic, although that's a fucking great name for a pot growing system, and I'm not a pot guy, but if there is not hydrochronic out there, I would almost park the URL just to make $1 billion.
Hey dude, that was my idea.
Sure, it's your idea.
G4's, man.
Okay, well,
G4's
technically you stole a name from a channel as your name, so if you want to talk about IP infringement,
man, it's dead.
Well, it is dead, but that doesn't mean it's up for grabs. It just means that it's not currently being used. It's still owned by
Chris,
NBC Universal, I imagine.
It's been so fucking cool, man.
It's been great talking.
It's been so fucking cool.
It's been so punching it out.
No, we don't do that part, man. We go.
Where are you going to go now? You're going to go get a bunch of pussies?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what G4 does.
Follow us on Unqualified and all social media. Chris, thank you so much.
What do I feel like we just? I feel like we just did an entire episode of Entourage. I feel like that's what we just did. That was
you were the merman.
Real story. I was the merman,
and I was the G4.
And you were the G4.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, help us all. All right, we love you, dear listeners. Thanks so much, Chris Hardwick. You're
Thanks
brilliant.
for having me. No, I appreciate it. It was really great.
It was amazing.
This is so much fun.
Okay, should we sing a lullaby?
Oh, you want to sing a lullaby?
I don't know if that's really a lullaby.
It's true. That's the only one I know to sing to my song.
What I've been really fixated on lately is how depressing the Peanuts are. Peanuts cartoons.
How does that go?
Christmas time is here. Nothing really means anything. We wrote a Christmas song in a minor key, so we'd all appreciate the malaise of existence.
You're so right. Peanuts is totally like that. Sorry, you were going to go into something.
No, I wasn't. Christmas time.
It's true. Who's the optimist on that show?
Well, it's kind of Linus. Well, I don't know if he's an Well, he is. Linus is very optimistic.
He's the one with the blanket.
He's the one with the blanket. He's the one that thinks the great pumpkin's coming. Yeah, he thinks the great pumpkin is coming. Yeah. Sally, I think, is probably just oblivious to everything. Lucy is really sort of the
Schroeder, the musician. He's the biggest optimist.
Schroeder might be the biggest.
He's the
I
pianist.
thought Linus plays the piano.
No, you're right. It's Schroeder. Linus sits on, he dances.
And what's the African American kid's name?
What is that kid's name?
Well, he's great. I like him.
Wow. Wonderful job, everybody here.
Why'd you make it about race, Sam?
I just didn't know his name. I think he is great. I really like that character.
I'm gonna find out.
Fuck.
Oh,
that race.
I can't. I have no service in this area. I don't put any service up there. I don't know.
All right. We love you all. Good night.